and sit down.
It says live and
we're live.
Yeah. See, that's the awkward start. We nail it every time. All right, welcome gamers to episode 7 of PSVG OT. I'm your host, Coach Hulk, and I'm very glad you're here visiting us after your turkey comas. With me today is Devin, the real Thor Tyus, and
what up?
The amazing, awesome Leah from Girls on Games. How you guys doing today?
Pretty awesome. Yay for Saturdays, right?
Yes, Saturday.
No turkey comas over here, though, because I'm Canadian.
I know. You guys had Thanksgiving like a month ago?
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
I'm waiting for my turkey in a little over a month.
So you're good. Dad, how you doing?
I am chilling like a villain. No turkey coma here because I prefer ham.
Okay.
That's just how I get down. Turkey just a little too dry for me.
Nothing I can say about it. So this show, as our fans know, is built on two main ideas. One, sharing memories, and two, unpreparedness, where I don't allow you to prepare for anything. So, as we ask every week, do you guys have any idea or are you prepared in any way for this show?
Absolutely not.
I don't think so.
Oh,
Let's go.
I got nervous.
Seat of our pants.
Whew. I was like, wait, is she prepared? Was I hacked?
Isn't it like a Girl Scout thing? Like always prepared? Yeah. I didn't last week for that.
So our memory today is actually it's not twofold, but it could be if you want to make it that way. It is your best Black Friday / Thanksgiving memory. So I will go first to give you two some time to think. Mine actually happens on the same day, within a 24-hour span. I think I was a sophomore in college, and my wife and I had just gotten married, and we wanted a TV. We are the one we have is really small. We wanted to kind of upgrade because newly married, yeah. And so for Thanksgiving, we invited 3 people over, which turned into 25 people, and everyone was telling me about this thing called Black Friday. Now I grew up broke, so I didn't know what Black Friday was. Black Friday in Portland was not a thing. So I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, yeah, you go down, you shop, and everything's discounted. I go, Lacey, is this real? She's like, yeah. Like, let's do this. And so yeah, there's really big lines. And so I leave with my offensive lineman best friend, Nick. Now, Nick is 6 foot, 200 and some pounds. I'm 6'7", 300 plus pounds at the time. And we cram into his little truck. We drive down because my wife's going to come down the expedition later. So we leave at 2:33 in the morning. We get there at 4, and I'm expecting lines after lines. No one's there. It is completely empty. I go, so we're first. He's like, yeah. I go, so we wait outside. 10, 15 minutes goes by. No one shows up. I go, it's cold. We're in North Dakota. I'm freezing. Do you want to go sit in the truck? He goes, yeah, we'll go sit in the truck. So he goes sit in the truck. His heater stops working. So we're like, okay, so no point in us being in here. So we go outside and we're like, well, we got to stay warm. So let's play some catch. So we throw the football around. Well, neither one of us can throw a football because we're both offensive and defensive linemen. So that basically led to a giant game of the ball rolling on the floor and us picking up the cold ball and then trying to throw it again. So we invented cart ball, where we pushed the Target shopping carts, trying to get them to go into the little rail and throw a football in them at the same time. We did this until about 5:30 when another car pulls in. So we quick hurry, put the ball in the truck, run to get back to front line. Those people don't get out of their car. They just sit there waiting because the store doesn't open till, I think it opened at 6. We're like, what are they doing? So we go play a little more cart ball. They're laughing at us. Then more cars show up and we run back in and the line starts. And so that's my favorite Black Friday memory because we were so excited. It's going to be packed. We're going to be first in line. And it led to us just inventing a game and goofing off and having a really good time together. And I'll remember that forever. So that's mine. Dev, tell us your best Black Friday / Thanksgiving memory.
So my best Black Friday / Thanksgiving memory are also one and the same. Working at Best Buy, you have to work Black Friday all the time. And, I had been working there for a while, and the start times were getting sooner and sooner and sooner. So it went from, starting at 6, then 5, then like 2, and then midnight.
God.
Yeah. Luckily I got out before they started doing this, the day of Thanksgiving nonsense that they do now.
Yeah.
But this one particular Black Friday / Thanksgiving, they were worried about the market crash. So all the full-time employees and supervisors were actually got the day off. So we didn't have to actually work Black Friday. So they were trying to do some cost-saving measure, so we all got it off. So I was just like, I haven't had a Black Friday off since I knew what Black Friday was. I had never had one off because, like you, I grew up poor. So the idea of Black Friday was completely irrelevant to me until I started working at Best Buy. So I got the day off. My wife is like ecstatic because we've never had the opportunity to actually go Black Friday shopping. So we're like, you know what? We're still not getting up early. We're just going to go out and stroll and see what happens. And there was this one TV that my wife had her eye on. It was actually our second HD TV. It was just a nice little, like a 32-inch 720p TV that she wanted to get for the bedroom. I'm like, babe, there's absolutely no way we're going to get this TV. We didn't get here early. We weren't first in line. Like, it's 12 o'clock. There's no way they're going to have this blockbuster TV still. So she's like, whatever, let's just go check and see. Sure, let's just go. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we go to, I think it was at Walmart. So we go to Walmart and we're just casually strolling around. I'm digging through the gaming bins of all the cheap games and DVDs and stuff. And she's like, I'm going to go see if I can find the TV. I'm like, go right ahead. I'll be here. So she goes and she's walking around and then she comes back with the TV in her hands. I'm like, how on earth? How did you get that? Why is there still one left? And she's like, well, apparently there was a pallet of them in the back that they thought that people that I guess the employees thought they had to hold for some reason. And she asked, and one of the employees was like, yeah, just go ahead and grab one if you want one. So she did. That's how
nice.
Yeah, mama.
I think it was like $100 for that TV at the time too. So it was great. And
sometimes you have to not listen to Daddy Padawan. Like sometimes you gotta ignore him. Yeah.
She's good at that. She's very good at that. She's mastered the art of not listening to me.
Oh man. All right, Leah. How about you? Favorite Thanksgiving / Black Friday memory?
Well, we've only been doing Black Friday in Canada for the past few years because, like mentioned before, our Thanksgiving is in October, early October. But I do remember the one time I did get to experience American Thanksgiving, and that's when I was doing my master's in Savannah, Georgia. Okay. And it was really cool. And I think it's almost more. It's more family oriented, even so, than the Canadian version of Thanksgiving. I got to hang out with all my friends and all that stuff. Got to eat all the cool food. Got to watch the football. Got to watch the parade. So yeah, it was just a really nice, warming experience that I hadn't really felt when I was going through grad school there. Just that chance to sit and hang with my extended family, because these were all friends that I had met, right? So it was really good and really enjoyable, and I'd love to do it again. I'm kind of jealous every time I hear about Allie, who is one of our members of our team. She's down in the States and she had Thanksgiving there this past weekend. And I'm like, oh my God, I remember. I just want to eat turkey and cranberries. Yeah. But yeah, I really like American Thanksgiving. I think you guys really got that one figured out.
Yeah.
Best holiday in the States by far.
We got one.
Yeah, we got one. It's really funny because my wife was actually going online looking up what Black Friday looks like in the UK and in Canada, and it's nothing at all like here. It's nice. It's pleasant.
So our big sale day is the day after Christmas. Not so we think about spending all the money after Christmas presents are open and you've got a little bit of cash or whatever. So I've purposely waited, if I didn't get such and such a thing, usually a video game, in my stocking for Christmas, Grandma usually had some cash in there. So Boxing Day would run out and I'd pick up the next Zelda or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the biggest return day in America.
Man.
Everybody hates their presents. Goes against what they really wanted.
Oh, man.
I've never actually, I don't know if I've ever returned something that was a gift, even though I knew I could. It was the moral implications of not keeping it with I feel I'd feel too guilty.
It's always sizing issues. And it's usually my mom. She's like, don't worry, I got the receipt if it doesn't fit. I'm like, okay, cool, good. Go get the next size.
All right, man. Those are good memories. I'm glad we got to share those.
Okay, so here's the thing. Because, we're unprepared.
Oh goodness.
So,
I didn't know you were going to do it today.
Sidebars.
Yeah, so I'm throwing in one. We're going to keep the unprepared podcast going.
Nice.
I was really hoping you forgot about this.
Absolutely not. You're not going to get away with this being prepared stuff every time. No. Absolutely not.
All right.
So, going with the Thanksgiving theme. My question is, what is like the best surprise gift you've ever gotten that was gaming related? Yeah. So I'll start with mine. So you guys can take a second to think about it. So the biggest surprise that I ever got actually came from my wife. It was when the PS3 came out. So the PS3, if you guys remember, was notoriously hard to get. It was also ridiculously overpriced. So I was thinking there's just no way on earth I'm ever going to get this system, at least not for a year or two till the price drops or they're more readily available. And all the while, like one of my best friends, he ends up getting one. I mean, I was just like, how did you manage to pull enough cash together to get this system? And I'm like, you don't even play games like that. Like, you play Madden and that's it. Nothing against Madden mode, but that's all.
I was about to be like, what?
What?
That's all you play. I'm like, I want to play all the other things like Heavenly Sword, but you have this system and you're only going to play Madden on it. I want to choke the life out of you right now because you got a PS3 and I don't. So my wife, bless her heart, she realizes like how badly I want this system and how I'm just like, I'm just sitting here, upset that I don't have one. And we go out to dinner once. I believe we were going to Outback Steakhouse.
Okay.
When we go to dinner and we're just hanging out, chilling, she's like, "Babe, I'm cold. Can you go get me a sweater?" I have my sweaters in the trunk, so I go to the trunk, pop it open, and there's a PS3 with Madden and another game, and I'm just sitting here like mind blown. Like I do one of those that John Travolta like confused look, like
this isn't my
car. Like real confused. Like, you got to be kidding me. Where? How? What? So I go back in and I'm like, "Babe, did you really just?" She's like, "Yeah. I just thought I knew you really wanted one, and Marcus had one, and you don't have it, and I know that you really, really want this. So there you go." So that was like the biggest, best gaming surprise I've ever had. It was amazing. It was a great moment, and she completely blew my mind with that one. That's why she's still my number one.
Oh man, it's a great story. You always have the good ones.
Yeah.
Love you.
That's a good surprise.
Yeah. It was an amazing surprise. It's on you, Mo. What you got?
Mine's similar, only not as like well planned. So I first got the 360. I had it for about a year. And this thing kept popping up when I would play games. It was like this little icon that would later change my life, but I didn't know what it was, so I thought it was broken. It was the achievement thing. I didn't know what was happening because I remember I wasn't a gamer.
Right.
I didn't know. So these achievements would pop and I would see something pop up on the screen and go, I don't know what this is. Did I break it? So I returned the 360 because I got the warranty thing. So I have a year. I return it. And I go, I don't know what's going on. Something keeps popping up on the screen. Well, of course, I'm bringing it back to Walmart, right? And they're like, listen, I don't know what that is either. We have this new thing called the PS3. Do you want to get that? I go, what is it going to have this thing pop up? No, it has this. And then the lady tells me a couple things. I'm like, oh, cool. She goes, oh, and it plays the new movies, which ended up being Blu-rays.
Oh, right.
And I go, okay, I'll get that instead. So I have this PS3. None of my college friends have one. I'm it, right? Everyone else has a 360. So I go through 2 years of like, I'll just play Madden. Y'all want to come on and play Madden? Oh, you don't like this controller? I'll go play on your 360. And my wife realizes like how awkward it is for me. Like, man, I can't like hang out with my teammates. And so I'm sitting there with a buddy of mine. I'm like, man, I think I'm gonna go buy a 360 today. And he's like, I wouldn't do that. I was like, you've been telling me to get one for a year, man. Why would you tell me? He goes, I wouldn't do that if I was you. I go, I'm I'm like, dude, this is all we talk about outside of football. Why? Listen, don't tell Lacey I told you, but she's getting you one. I'm like, my wife's getting me a system? Oh, man. So I'd go home that night and, like, again, I'm not real good at the whole lying thing or, like, covering stuff up emotionally. Like, I'm like, my face tells you how I feel almost all the time. And so I come home like, hey, girl, how's it going? You look really nice today. She's like, someone told you. I'm like, no one told me.
She knows me so well. She knows her tells.
So she let me have it, and I opened it up, and I started playing. I don't think it was Madden. I think it was the NBA Live. And again, I'm playing, and one of those things pop up. But my buddy LaRon was there, and he goes, "Oh, that's an achievement." And I go, "Oh, okay. So what's that mean?" And he showed me, and he's the one who started the path of my quest for 1 million. Now I'm almost to 200,000 now. Like I'm on my way, and so it was an awesome gift. And she's been like the biggest proponent of me diving into gaming. And she's like, when she found out I had a podcast tonight, she was like, "Hey, good luck. I hope you do really well." And I just love her to pieces. So it worked out really well for me. And she's still my number one too. So I'm just saying, Doug.
So cute.
All right, it's to you, Mama.
So people don't usually buy me video game gifts anymore because they don't have a sweet clue what to buy me, which makes sense because a lot of stuff just ends up on my desk at work. But I'm going to roll back. I think this was probably, it was definitely over Christmas because it was a present for my mom. It was in my stocking. And it was just after high school. It's because the Wii was out.
Okay.
And I open up this gift and it's like this, it looks like a DVD case size, but it's kind of like bulging. A little, just a smidge. Like nothing crazy, but it just like, it doesn't look right. Like it's not flat and even. So anyways, I open it up and it's a copy of the Michael Jackson Experience. See, I'm a huge MJ fan. And that bulge in it was the sparkly glove. And I was floored because as like, Just Dance, love it. And then this is that step, but it's just nothing but MJ. And with a sparkly glove, though the rules say, or the instructions, safety first, you couldn't play the game with the Wiimote on and the glove. I was a rebel. I did it anyway. But yeah, I felt so killer. And I still have that game with the sparkly glove. And I was like, Mom, good gift.
Oh, man. That's awesome.
That's awesome. My wife is a huge MJ fan too. And I got that for her as well for PS3. Yeah. She loves the King of Pop. Like that's her dude.
Mm-hmm. Love it.
So the Just Dance crew just tweeted at me today because I tweeted them yesterday. Yeah. My wife and I bought the Just Dance 2018 because it was on sale for Black Friday. It was like half off. So we probably did like 4 or 5 songs a piece each last night. And I texted them like, this game is killer. Like I don't know why I would sleep on you guys for so long, but without the Connect, you use the phone. And that thing works well. Yeah. Like I was really impressed. So just shout out to Just Dance 2018. Y'all do good stuff.
I love their games. I always wanted to go and see them live capture.
That'd be so cool.
Because awesome. They're such good dancers. Yeah. And I'm just fascinated by like the workings behind the scenes of video games and seeing that kind of action at work, and then how they go from that to an animated character that still looks really smooth, right? Like it looks like real people, but it can't be. They're translucent, right? So
and then they on this one, so they have the Disney songs, and so my wife, she loves Moana. Like that's like her jam. That's her probably one of her favorite movies. And so she did the song from that one, and the girls dressed up in the outfit and goes hambo. It was really good.
It's such a workout. I've used it as a workout before.
That's what she was trying to do, and she was like sweating when it was on.
She totally can. And set up playlists for it. It's awesome.
I'll tell you.
You don't feel like you're working out when you're dancing around having fun, right?
Just having a good time.
I did that with Just Dance and DDR way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She got her DDR on.
Nice. I was never good at that.
I tried it in the movie theaters, but my foot was so big I would hit 2 squares at once.
Oh,
and so I was like, no, this isn't fair. Y'all, like I'm losing, but I feel like I should be competing. So I quit that one.
You need a Hulk-sized DDR.
Yeah, I need one.
Have you ever tried to play with like the plastic mats that they used to sell you? To be like, you play DDR at home, and you'd hook it up, and you would borderline almost kill yourself because your feet would get tangled up in the mat. It would just end up like tripping you up rather than actually being an input device.
Yeah, so we had one of those really bad mats, but side story, we worked for a summer camp, and I convinced them to buy the really, really nice mats so that I could bring it for like the sleepovers, and we would play DDR at like the overnight for camp, and then I got to keep them at my house for storage. So we got to use the good mats at home.
Ooh,
Nice.
Sneaky, but a good way to do things.
Well played, sir. Well played.
Yeah. Approved.
All right, coming into it now, we got our questions. I've got a bunch of them because I got a bunch before break happened. And so the first one is from our girl Jack, a big fan of our show, and we love her to pieces. And she wants to know, once it's going to be a Thanksgiving show, what gaming company are you the most thankful for? So we'll start with our guest. Leah, what are you thinking?
Oh man, that's so hard because especially this year, has been so good in games. But I think I have to go back to my all-time favorite, which is Nintendo, because they're usually always at the top of my list. They're always innovating. They're always trying to do something new. And they always learn from their mistakes, too, which I think is really good. I mean, look at the Wii U. The Wii U didn't do so great, and now they came out with the Switch. And the Switch is banging. And it's now like Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild has become my new game of all time. And it's just so many memories, too, as a kid growing up, playing Zelda with me and my brother and my buddy. And we'd pass the controller back and forth and get through that stupid water temple. And just like I can like pinpoint times in life by Nintendo games, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, Nintendo. I'm thankful for Nintendo.
I see it. Dev, how about you, babe?
I would say, you know what? I'm thankful for Ubisoft right now. They have given me some of the best games, just some of the best experiences, like overall. Stuff like the Assassin's Creed franchise, one of my favorite franchises. The Watch Dogs 2 is one of my favorite games of all time. The new Assassin's Creed that just came out was absolutely amazing. So they're definitely like one of my favorite franchises. They did Prince of Persia too, right?
I think so. And
back in the day.
Yeah, the PS2 Prince of Persia trilogy, like that. Oh my god, I loved that series.
Well, you know that the first Assassin's Creed was actually supposed to be Prince of Persia.
That sounds like it makes a whole lot of good sense.
Altair was supposed to be Prince of Persia. So
I would be down for that. Bring it back. Bring it back.
They need to bring, now that they've got all that skills figured out with after Assassin's Creed Origins, they should bring it back. It would be really awesome.
Absolutely. So Ubisoft, thank you. Thank you very much.
And for me, this is one that, like, when I got this question, this is where my brain went. I'm really thankful for Sony. Now, when Dev hears that, goes, you and Sony, what? The old head of Microsoft, who was leading Xbox One down a bad road before Phil came in and saved the day.
Our savior.
Had Sony not seen their mistakes and quickly rectified and went down a different route, I feel like both these systems would be failing and we would not be where we are right now. And so I'm thankful for Sony for seeing what fans wanted and seeing what we needed and seeing like, hey, we don't want to not be able to trade our games in. We don't want to change this ecosystem. We want to be able to choose what to do. We want games. We want lots of them. We want all sorts of games. We want indie games. We want big world games. We want shooters. We want mysteries. We want it all. And they just kept delivering. And had they not done it, my Xbox would not have turned into what they are now. And I really needed that because, like, I'm not going to lie, like, as somebody so I only have like 40,000 achievements on the 360. That means, well, remember, I'm almost to 200,000. That means there's 130,000 achievements I've gotten on the Xbox One. I'm really grateful that Sony's been pushing Xbox to keep delivering so it can keep moving. So I'm really, really grateful for Sony. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, moving on. We got Shy, again, fan favorite. She's been with us since like PSVG 5 when she was in 7th grade. Great kid. And she wants to know, how do you feel about streaming? Why do you do it? And why do you not? And this is actually directed towards our Girls on Games. She's a huge fan. Follows you guys on Twitter. She sends out comments. She loves watching your content. I believe she follows on Mixer, or
Yeah.
maybe I think it's Mixer or Twitch. I'm not sure which one.
We do Mixer now.
Okay,
so it's
okay.
probably Mixer. Awesome.
So she wants to know, and this is direct towards you, and then me and Dev can fill in whatever we do. So
sweet. So I've always enjoyed watching people play games. So it just and I kind of naturally like in playing games with others. So it just seemed right for me to play a game and share my experience with others and get their feedback and all that kind of stuff. Because it's always been like play a game and then share the feedback. And that's what I loved about video games. So when I stream, I feel like I'm bringing my friends in on my couch and we're all just playing together. And that's a good way to do it. And it's a good way to meet other people too and like make lifelong friends that I have, you know? So through streaming and met a fair number of the Girls on Games team that way too. And I really like Mixer because it's like a friendly environment. And the people that are working there are pretty awesome. And yeah, that's why I like the stream. It's just a way for me to like reach out and play a game together that wouldn't necessarily be a co-op game. We kind of turn it into one.
No, it's great. Dev?
So I don't stream anywhere near as much as I'd like to just because of lack of time and the space to actually do it. But I really want to stream more just because I like having that interaction. And it's funny because I'm not the kind of person who actually likes to watch people play games. I want the controller. I want to play. And I think the part of that is just because my time is so limited that if I have time to watch somebody play, I'd rather be playing. So that's kind of my push and pull with it. But I definitely want to stream more once I actually get a better setup in some place where I can actually do it where I don't have to worry about possibly waking my raging 2-year-old. Then I will stream more.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good thing to think about.
Yeah.
Not waking the kids.
No, don't want to do that.
For me, I suffer from really, really bad anxiety only when I try to stream. Like,
why is that?
So like right now, the first episode we did of this, I literally hyperventilated on the floor after it was over.
Really?
Because this scares me. This is like you are vulnerable to an entire ecosystem of people. And that frightens the crap out of me. So like when I first pitched the idea to Donnie and they're like, you really want to do this? Like, yeah, like we can't get you to stream for more than 5 minutes. Because legit, I'll start and that box, if the number goes up, I freak out. And I'm like, thank you so much for watching me, and I really appreciate it. And I'm done. Game over. It scares the bejesus out of me. And so, like, I definitely, like, I've tried really hard. I'm like, okay, I'm playing an indie game. Probably no one's going to tune in and watch this. I'm gonna jump in. I'll stream it. Because I want to, like, move the light level up, the sparks, so I can, like, donate to people and do all the cool things that you let you do.
Yeah.
And I'll do it for 5-10 minutes, and someone jumps in. I go, thank you so much. I'm done. And I'm working on it. I'm working on it because my kids keep asking, like, Coach, you play everything. We want to, see some of the stuff you're doing. I'm like, God, nope. I'll tell you about it. That's about it for me, though.
So basically, what you're saying is Bruce Banner is the streamer, and we need to get Hulk to stream. We need to flip that. We need to Hulk out.
We got to get the Hulk out. That's
a good one. But you're a teacher, right?
I am.
And but you're standing up in front of a crowd there, right?
I'm a PE teacher, so we just play games. So we're just running around playing.
But you're just playing a game. So just think of it the same way.
Didn't you just teach an English class too?
I did just teach an English class. I taught poetry. Rudy Francisco, one of the best poets out there. So if you guys ever want to see an amazing poet, please look at his work. He's fantastic.
You can do that.
Let's move on. So Aaron asks, if we could go back in time to a small you and say one thing, what would it be? Dev?
If I could go back to little me and say one thing, it would be don't stop playing basketball. You little knucklehead, you're going to end up coming to this crossroads and you're going to put the ball down and say, I don't want anything to do with this right now. I would go back and tell him, look, ball is life. Stop playing. Stop tripping. Pick that basketball up and keep playing. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Elle, how about you?
Being a geek is okay.
Nice.
Because I think we grew up in a time when being a nerd or being a geek about something, being passionate about something that maybe is a little off the beaten track was uncool and people would tease you for it. And now We geeks are king.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we are.
Rising up.
Yeah. So there you go. That's what I would tell myself. Stick with it. You like the video games? You like the anime? Keep with it. You're doing all right.
Yes.
This was a tough one for me because when he gave it to me, I was like, man, there's like three things I would be like this. I was like, if I had to just pick one, I'm gonna go with the best one. Go to the University of Hawaii. That would be the only thing I would tell myself.
Yeah.
So I got a scholarship offer from there in Oregon State and a couple other schools. And the only reason I didn't go, even though it was my favorite visit, and I loved the campus and I loved the culture, was because they used to be called the Fighting Rainbow Warriors. And in my neighborhood, if my friends found out I was a Fighting Rainbow Warrior, it would have been really tough for me. And so I said no and went to Oregon State to be a beaver, which really wasn't much better. So, I mean, small rodent or awesome tribal warrior who rainbows are cool. Was that a problem with the rainbow?
Rainbows are awesome.
Right. But I was too insecure with myself. And that would be the one thing I would tell myself because I love that campus and I just had a blast when I was there. All right. From Jess, the best food at Thanksgiving that you get and the one you make. We'll go to Lee this time.
So the only time I did Thanksgiving, I brought strawberry spinach salad, which is like one of my favorite things to make. So I enjoyed that. And I got introduced to the gloriousness that is cornbread.
Oh, cornbread. With
what?
With
it's
corn,
over now. It's
with,
over. I love that stuff. It's all I want to eat.
With corn
You
kernels
had
in it or
never-
just the normal meal? I prefer mine with the corn kernels.
Yes.
Right?
I don't think I've ever had it with corn kernels in it.
Well, now you need to step your game up.
Can you send me some of that over the border, please?
We need to send a care package. This needs to be solved now. Yeah.
Wow.
Way
Like
better.
I went and ended up like when I came home, like I make it for my Thanksgiving in October and I like look up Paula Dean's recipe and I make it and I like go into the grocery store and I'm like, where do I find these things? And like, I was like, and it's hard because I live in Quebec too. So trying to figure out what cornmeal is in French. I don't know.
Wow. That's interesting.
But yeah, there's mine.
Cool. And then Dev?
I don't make anything. I don't cook. That's all the wife. So she makes everything. So everything. My favorite thing to eat. Actually, it's something that is totally untraditional. My mom makes this Jello mold. It's lime green Jello, whipped cream, and walnuts and pineapples. And it is absolutely amazing. And it's to the point where she always makes me my separate tub. Because otherwise, I'm going to eat all.
Yes.
That's epic.
Yeah, so it got to the point where she would make me my own, and then everybody else caught on. So now my wife gets her own, my sister gets her own because it's just that delicious, and that is like my Thanksgiving. That's what I'm looking forward to on Thanksgiving. Is that Jello?
Did you get one?
It's oh yeah, absolutely. Got my tub in the fridge. Don't play with me.
I
Don't
love
play with my
it.
Jello mold.
You can send that my way too. I will definitely try that.
So the thing that I make about 6 years ago, I remember like my wife was she was really sick and she normally was making like the Thanksgiving dinners. And so I was like, hey, let me make something for you to help. And she goes, could you make the turkey? Now, having never made a turkey before, I was like, yeah, I got this. So I went and bought the turkey and I go, what would I want my turkey to taste like? So I got a heap of barbecue sauce, a pineapple, and an onion. And I, inside the bad boy, barbecue sauce all over the place, made it. And like, it comes out and she's like, oh, thanks, babe. Like, she was pretty wary of it, but then we tried it and it was good. Like, we were like, yes. So ever since then, I make the turkey every year. And then the thing that gets made, so I was really homesick a couple years ago. And so my wife, through, just her being so intuitive, she's like, I need to make him a sweet potato pie. That's like the only thing he really likes of Thanksgiving food. So she makes this thing. And I'm telling you, like, she made the entire thing from scratch. Like, we were talking, there were no store-bought ingredients in this bad boy. And I literally, like, after I ate it, I re-proposed because I loved her so much in that moment. And so now for like every holiday I get one and I'll smash through it. And she's like, save me a piece. I'm like, I'll try. You know who you married, so just know your man.
I'm so hungry now.
I actually had a piece of sweet potato pie right before this because my wife also home makes sweet potato pie. So
there you go. Yeah, it's so good.
I'm blessed. My wife makes some of the most delicious stuff ever. Oh God.
See, my husband's the cook in our house.
Yeah.
He loves to cook. I'm not very good at it. I'll do the dishes afterwards.
Yeah,
that's about how I get down.
We're more of a crock pot family. Like we love our crock pot. Like we be making meals in there all day.
Yeah.
So we just started making oatmeal in it, and I was like, okay.
Wait, what? Oh
Yeah.
God, that's such a good idea.
It is phenomenal. And then you put one of those bags in it, no cleanup. You just literally you just get scoop.
Because that's always awkward
bowl.
is cleaning up oatmeal. Because it gets it becomes like a solid object.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So
when you put the bag in the crock pot, it cooks over the night. Like while you sleep, you wake up, you got your bowl of oats, and you pull the bag out and throw it away. Crock pot's clean.
I'm gonna have to eat after this now.
That's genius. And I want that turkey that you make. Oh my God.
Yes, that sounds delicious. Because at first I'm like, barbecue sauce on turkey and a pineapple inside? That's different.
No, I put barbecue sauce on everything. So I was already hyped as soon as I heard barbecue sauce.
You were like, done, sold.
Let's go. All right, this next one, I need to just preface this. So Keontae, he's a special dude. Yeah, you remember he had this great question a couple weeks ago because his coach got him in trouble with his dad because he was wearing Nintendo socks. And so he asked.
Trouble.
It was a whole thing. I'll explain it to you after.
All right.
So he asked, if you could, would you be a space marine?
Would I be a space marine?
Yeah.
I would love the idea of exploring, but I don't think I would do very well with the whole contained in the spacesuit thing.
Okay. Dev, space marine?
So are we talking like Halo Space Marine or like Warhammer Space Marine or just like
the dude did not preface it in any way, shape, or form.
It's the best kind of question.
The question just says, if you could, would you be a space marine? And I was like, oh man, this is on a piece of paper. I'm typing these up. I go, you would, because
that has me thinking like Starship Troopers. Like, I don't know, man. Them bugs wasn't playing around.
If we fighting bugs, if it's space, if it's that, I'm no.
Yeah.
If I got a giant weapon like the Needler in Halo, okay, I don't mind.
That's different. Because I'll fight the Halo enemies. They're all dude size for the most part.
Even the Flood?
Yeah.
The Flood is terrifying.
I'm just saying, like, that doesn't scare me. A bug 3 times my size.
Yeah.
With giant killing things, praying medicine all over.
Yeah.
I ain't about that.
Yeah. You put me in Warhammer, you put me in Halo, sign me up. Let's go. Hoorah.
Okay.
But we're talking about Starship Troopers? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Not messing with them bugs. Nope.
Devin will not be one of Rico's roughnecks. No, I understand. I'm with you. I would in the Halo universe, only because the gear was sweet. Like if I could be Master Chief, yeah. If I had to be just a normal Space Marine from the actual what that franchise is, no. Because those guys die really fast. I watched too many. I played that game. I saw many times they die quick, so I ain't doing that. So that's and what's the one that StarCraft? They're the first troop you make. they expendable, man.
Yeah, right.
That's just fodder, man.
Peons.
Right. Go get in the way.
It's like red shirts at Star Trek. You know your game.
Don't let the tank get hit. All right.
Human shield.
Our next one comes from Lisa, and she wants to know if you could fight any video game character, who would it be? Those followed each other well. Good job, me. So, Leah, who would you fight?
Oh my goodness!
If you're throwing, let's add something to it.
Okay.
And you could win. It's like who would you call out and go? You know what? I'm pretty sure I can win this fight.
It'd be wicked hard. I have to think. Charizard.
Oh yeah.
What?
And I could win.
Bowl of water.
There you go.
Over. No
I just gotta be a Blastoise. I'm good.
Then who you fighting?
I'm gonna take out Sephiroth. Let's go. I'm just saying, if I'm guaranteed the W, I'm going after the baddest mug there is.
There you go.
You're not guaranteed
sword while you're at it.
This is the person you think you could beat.
Oh yeah, I'm taking him out. Let's go.
Okay.
Cutting that hair too.
Oh my goodness. All right. If it's me, it's hard. I want to say Mario. I would love a shot, man. I'd love a shot at that little plumber. You'd be like, why can't you talk, man? Why can't you say a word?
He can. It's me. Mario.
He's got like 99 lives. This is gonna be a long battle.
But I think the dude I would most want to go against is Voss from Far Cry 3.
Ooh.
Because that was a nasty bad guy. And so not only would I be like, listen, if I take him out, I'm saving a whole heap of people. But two, you're going against like a good adversary. Like that was a bad dude.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
Michael Mondo, who played him, did such a good job.
Oh yeah,
killed it.
Absolutely.
And like they modeled that character after him. He's so like animated. It looks dead on like him. Like you see him and you're like borderline scared, except for the fact that you don't see the scar. And he's like, "What is it? Do you know the what is the definition of insanity?" There you go. Yeah.
God, that was so
like,
good.
Dude, you're scaring me.
Oh, that was crazy.
Oh,
yeah,
awesome.
such a great game.
So we have one from PA, and this is a rapid fire. This is our second rapid fire, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll go this way. We'll go ladies first, then Dev, then me, and I'll list them off. And again, we want to be quick.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
Cowboy or business person?
Cowboy.
Cowboy.
Yeehaw.
Own your own store or be a professional athlete?
Athlete.
I would own my own gaming store.
Nice.
Black licorice or nah?
Nah.
Black licorice.
Nah. Orange or grape?
Grape? I don't know. I can't decide. It's too hard. Too much pressure.
That's easy. Purple.
Yep, great. All right. So thank you, PA, for our rapid fire. That's our second rapid fire. I'm very proud of that one. I love the orange and grape was the one Cowboys, not a problem. Black licorice, not a problem. But grape or orange, we got issues.
You love being a horseback riding, gunslinging.
I'm saying,
You know,
if I get to be a cowboy and sling a gun over being a businessman,
businessman, that's no fun.
Briefcase,
I've seen them in my
6-shooter.
daily life. They are not that much fun.
That's what happens with juniors.
Briefcase or 6-shooter.
The juniors, they're too ready for that going to college life. So of course, that was tough.
I feel you. That's good.
So, all right, from Mikey, what do you collect? Leah.
What do I collect? That's a good question. I actually don't collect very much anymore.
Okay.
I find it. I've moved from physical to digital for a lot of stuff, but I used to collect a lot of Japanese manga.
Dev.
I collect video game stuff. Like I love collector's editions. So
what are those?
That'd be about. Huh? Yeah. What are those exactly? Right now, I have to say, I collect Destiny stuff. I've got a ton of Destiny.
Do you have a ghost?
I do have a ghost.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the ghost from the first collector's edition. It's chilling on my desk at work.
Awesome.
Only way to hear Dinklebot.
Go watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
so much.
I collect a little more than I should, and it's my wife and I have come down to it's just because like I did none of this as a kid. Like as a kid, it was all sports all the time. And so like I didn't have that childhood where you got to be goofy and weird and all that stuff. And so I collect Hulk comics. I collect basically everything video game related. Like I have a very large room. Normally I'm in the other room and I have a whole wall of things behind me. But this one's quieter. No, not so much dogs barking at me. And I collect a lot of sports stuff, but only autographs. I don't do the cards. I love I have a little wall of fame, and it's just Chicago Bears players and autographs ever. And so I have a couple of different collections going on. So this is from our ghost story friend, Jonte. And he wants to know what our favorite band is. So Dev, what's your favorite band?
Favorite band? I'd probably have to say The Roots. I don't listen to a lot of bands just because I'm more R&B hip hop. But they kind of bring that band sound to hip hop. Huge fan of the Roots. Love them. So yeah, Roots.
Leah?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a big music fan. It's actually really hard to decide on that. I work in music on my day job because GOG is a passion project. And but 30 Seconds to Mars, they're just so good.
So my answer was Boys to Men, but he actually added on to this to let me read this. Mo, Boys to Men is not a band. They are a musical group. A band.
Correct.
Oh, he's being super technical.
So
that's why I went with the Roots.
Yeah. So if we're doing favorite band, there's a band called Blue October. They got kind of big for a minute, and their newer stuff wasn't as good. But their very first album, I went and saw them perform, and the passion that man sings with before he had some issues with family and drugs that went on later. The passion he sings with, like, literally made me feel things. Like his face and the way he would sing, and he would pour his heart onto the songs. It was beautiful, and I'll remember that forever. And that concert, and it was one that me and my brother went to, and then me and my wife went to, and I've gone to see them probably 5 or 6 times. It's been harder as the music's kind of stopped being that emotional outlet and been more, I want to say, business oriented. But they have a new CD coming, and I will go watch them again, and I will continue supporting that music because those first 2 CDs just really, really affected me in a positive way. So
that first album, like, I totally remember that when that released. Oh
yeah, okay,
so good. Yeah.
The next one is from Steven, who wants to know, what games did you play over the break, Dev?
Unfortunately, I played Star Wars Battlefront 2. Only the campaign. Was thoroughly disappointed by it. And after that, I went back to Tomb Raider. Just
which one?
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Okay.
I just went back to that because there was some of the DLC that I didn't finish up. So I finished that up. Good. And then tonight I'll probably be playing some more Horizon Zero Dawn Frozen Wilds.
Okay.
Nice.
Leah, how about you?
Oh my God. I didn't have a break.
Yeah.
But I still played an epic ton of games this past week. So I have dabbled in my new addiction, that is The Sims 4. Absolute addiction. I don't know, like, I shouldn't be allowed to have this game. Just downloaded Golf Story on the Nintendo Switch. So that's pretty entertaining. Yeah, playing some Stardew Valley on the Switch as well, because that's one where I pick up, play for a little bit at lunch, and then put it back down. I have dabbled in a little bit of the Star Wars, but with all the controversy going on, I'm like so apprehensive about going back in. So I'm just like, I think I need some time away and let that just like settle. I played some Call of Duty earlier, and yeah, I think that's about it right now. This week, that's what I've played.
Very nice.
I'm always playing something.
My list is pretty long. So because I had an entire week off with no teaching and played a lot of games, so I'm gonna do two games per system that I played this week. I'll just make it easy. I did play a lot of Stardew Valley. Now that me and Abigail are together, the way we were supposed to be in the beginning, that game got much better. And again, it's on the Switch, so it's portable, and I'm playing in between movies with the wife. And I also played a lot of Skyrim, which is now my favorite game on the Switch. A lot of people are making jokes about, Skyrim's on the Switch, it's on everything. That game plays really well on the Switch, and I love that my character is able to go through and do all these different stuff. And again, having the ability to make a choice in what you say, like, I love that. That's something that I think if Breath of the Wild would have allowed me that freedom to make a choice in what I was saying, I probably would have liked it more. But I hate when my character is a silent protagonist, like, drives me bananas. And so really enjoying Skyrim. On the PS4, I bought, played, and traded GT Sport.
Oh God!
Whoa, that was a tumultuous. I can't even say that. Crazy relationship you have with that game.
It's not as good as Forza or F1, and so I'm not gonna go play a racing game that's not as good as Now I guarantee their next one, if they get one in 2 years from now, I bet that fixes all the problems that I'm having with it, and then I'm really jacked because that's a great franchise. It's not there right now.
You mean a patch or 2 years? In 2 years, there will not be a new game.
No. In 2 years, a new game should hopefully come out. Like a GT. Again, if they're really on this cycle to become the racing franchise that they're supposed to be, in my head, in 2 years, another GT game will come out. hopefully they fix whatever happened that took that game 9 years to be finished.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That would be
But
nice.
if it took that long and the game's no good, do you think there'll be another one?
I hope so. I really do. I did finish the DLC for Horizon and loved it. Just such a wonderful game. I actually found the Aloy Pop figure, and now that has been added to my collection. And then on the Xbox, I was able to play and beat Star Wars Battlefront. I actually love the story because remember, I don't know anything about the Star Wars canon.
Oh, really?
So when you don't know anything, like this is the same problem we have with Justice League. I was on the That's Entertaining with Nathan last night.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta listen to that.
And here's the thing. I have no background on those characters. So I was like, oh, it's a good movie. And everyone else is like, this was wrong. And I'm like, oh, I did not know that because I don't know.
So basically the same way you felt about Hulk is probably how they felt about Justice League.
Exactly. And because, again, I have no background in it, I like the Battlefront story because I thought Janina, is that her name?
Yes, she's awesome. I love her.
What a great character. I was really upset that I couldn't play as her as a good guy because never mind. I'm gonna shut my mouth so I don't spoil it for anybody.
Unrated. We spoiled it on Unrated completely, so
okay.
Fine.
But I want to play more as her. She was awesome, and so I like. She's a really good character. And then also on the Xbox, I played a new game. It was oh my god, Your Toy. It's a horror game, and so I just started that. I think that's going to be one that I'm going to get the 1,000 in. I feel pretty good that I'll knock that 1,000 out probably tomorrow. I put about 45 minutes into it today, and I think I know where I'm going with that one. And so I like those little indie games. I love giving like, oh, game's $10. Take my money. Let me play your game and love on it for a minute. And I had a really good time playing that one. So, and Just Dance. I'm going to throw that one out loud. Just Dance 2018 was epic. Love it to death. Had so much fun.
I need you to stream Just Dance.
Yes.
I need to see this. I need to see this.
Do it.
Well, because with the Xbox One X, I just hook a webcam up, right?
Yeah, for the new update. Any of the Xboxes, I think, as long as you had that most recent update, you can hook up a webcam.
To the wife. Maybe we'll tandem a song real quick. You know, we both. I love it. It literally because of how much joy we had. That might become my game of the year for the year.
Nice.
Just on the joy factor alone. Like I love that.
That's what's up.
All right. And our last question before we get out of here is from Aaron. Aaron wants to know if you could get a grant to make a game, what would you make and what company would you partner with? We'll go Leah again.
That's hard.
Right? My kids are smart, man.
Naughty Dog?
That's a great pick.
Because everything they touch is golden.
Mm-hmm.
And I want a game. Hold on, but this might be a spoiler. And they might end up doing this.
Okay, so what we'll do is
I want a continuation of the Uncharted series.
Oh, okay.
But if you've watched the end game, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to say anymore because it totally spoils everything.
I'm totally down for that.
That is one of my favorite.
Yeah, you get where I'm coming at?
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from, and I'm totally down for that. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about how I would do that later. That's what I would do.
All right, Dad, how about you, bud?
All right, so I've actually thought about this several times because at one point in time, I thought I was going to be a game developer. The game that I want to create actually is from a book series called Dragonlance. And it's an awesome book series. It'd be an RPG, and I want it to be done by BioWare, the same team that did Dragon Age.
Yeah.
So that's the game that I want to create in the Dragonlance world because I love that world. It's a book series that I've actually read way too many times.
Man, all right. Mine is pretty easy. I would go to Telltale, and I would make a game called The 13 and a Half Lives of Captain Blue Bear. You see, that is my favorite book. It is the only book that I have read multiple times. Like, I'm talking over 5, right? I've read a couple twice, but I've read that one. Every single year, I read that book, and it has a quote in there, when bad habits become habit, it's time to turn over a new leaf. And the character is this blue bear and the story of his life. And it's amazing. Like, the author literally has the most creative mind. he builds a city inside of a tornado where you age because it's going so fast. Like, the dude's on another level. And it's one of those books that I share with my students. I have a poster of it next to my office door. I'll talk about it any day, and I love it to pieces. And so I would have Telltale help me make a great story-based game on the decisions that Captain Bluebeard would make and how it got him in and out of trouble. So that'd be me.
Now I gotta find that book.
Me too.
It's really, really good. I think I actually have 2 copies. So if anybody really wants one, you can totally borrow one of mine. My main one has a lot of writing in it, and so it's really hard when my wife like, oh, let me try reading this one. The only reason, so my wife's an English teacher. She's a reading teacher. Mm-hmm. The author never indents because he pretends that Captain Bluebeard is writing. So when you write a letter, like, not everybody would indent a paragraph. So he puts spaces to signify a paragraph, but he never indents. And it drives my wife bonkers. So she'll make it like 10 pages, like, can't do this. He's not indenting. He's not doing it. Like, he does his own thing. And I love it.
Triggered.
Yeah, it's great. So, but it's an amazing story, and I just love it to pieces. So that is actually the end of our questions. We had an awesome hour. We got to talk games. We got to talk memories. We got to joke around. So before we end, Leah, I would love for you to talk about Girls on Games, especially for my students who maybe don't know about you, so they can get more, they can follow, they can be in that awesome community. Because I will say, it's one of the most positive, most enjoyable communities I've gotten to be a part of. And I was just super blessed when you said, yes, you guys would come on over. So.
Oh, thanks so much. So yeah, Girls on Games is a video game and geek culture website born out of Montreal in Quebec, Canada. But we are all about non-discriminatory, all-inclusive, and for the love of games, because that's what we love to do. We love to play games. So we do editorial pieces. We do game reviews. We go out and get exclusive behind-the-scenes access, because in Montreal, there's a lot of video games being made here. And we're kind of handy in that sense. So, yeah, it's lots of fun. We have the website, girlsongames.ca. That's like our home base. That's where everything is. We have a Mixer stream team. So that's, we made it girlsongames.tv to make it like super easy, but you can go to and find the team on Mixer, where we have guys and gals who stream video games because they absolutely love it. All different types of games, all different types of gamers. It's super fun. And, yeah, then we have like social media and our podcast. So I do a podcast too. I'm the host. It's called the GOG Cast. We record every week, and it usually comes out on Monday. So stay tuned for that this Monday. And we recently started a new one called Of Buffs and Nerfs, which is an esports podcast, which we couldn't find a Canadian esports podcast in English that, coming out of Montreal. So we're like, let's get on that. Esports has become very big lately, especially in our community, because we've got Montreal Esports that just opened up the road. We've had like DreamHack here, LAN ETS, and like all these big esports competitions. So like it's getting real popular. So we really enjoy that. And yeah, it's all for the fun of games. And we got a Discord channel, so we're always talking in there. We always, just fair warning, we are who we are, and we do swear a little bit. So maybe not always.
I played the podcast in the weight room one day, and it was one of those where I was like, no. Let's listen to some music today, guys.
Yeah, so we don't shy away from the hot button topics, and totally we're always willing to say sorry because we are Canadian. But yeah, we are known to drop the few F-bombs, so fair warning. But you know what? It is who we are, and we're very inclusive about everything. So everybody's open to their own opinion and all that jazz, and we have a friendly discussion about video games and our passions and lives around that. So it's good fun, and yeah, hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on. Just a blessing. I know my kids are going to be jacked come Tuesday when this goes out for us on PSVG. I'm going to get asked lots of questions at school on Monday, and I just can't wait. I was very, very blessed and jacked. I said yes. Dev, what you working on? What's going on, man?
I'm working on that thing called life.
I tried
really
that
busy with life stuff. So just trying to fit in games where I can. You can catch me on Twitter at DevATias. Just come talk with me. I've got plenty to say about video games and about anything else. But other than that, That's all I'm doing right now.
How do you feel about Kyrie being the best point guard in the NBA right now?
I'm totally okay with that because I love me some Kyrie.
He's playing so well.
Them Celtics are a lot better than I thought they'd be.
It's really hard for me as someone who like is a Portland Trailblazer fan because Dame is Dame, but yeah,
Dame is dope.
Whew. All right. For me, I actually spent almost 2 hours last night working on a piece called, and it's actually because of the Justice League conversation I had. When you don't know the backstory, a story of Coach Mo, the Justice League, and Star Wars Battlefront 2 campaign.
Nice.
And so it's about 4 or 5 paragraphs deep. I don't know what a deep is. But
it's the end of the show. That always happens.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited, like where it's going and what I've been working on. I've been doing some just research on different topics involved in it and how an audience can interpret stuff and why it's okay to see it both ways. It actually led to me and my fanboyness for the Xbox. Again, it's part of why I'm so thankful for Sony and why I'm seeing merit in what they're doing, because I realize like my fanboyness on the Xbox side could get a little intense sometimes. And I need to work on that, especially after having these great conversations and having people on things that I don't know anything about and how I'm learning from them. So really jacked to kind of finish that piece up. I probably won't get back to it tonight. Tonight, I'm planning to jump on some Overwatch with some friends. But hopefully I can work on it this week and have it out next week sometime on the PSVG site. So we'll see what happens. But
share that with me when you're done.
I for sure will.
Looking forward to that for sure.
I don't know if it'll be as good as Dwarves. It's my favorite piece, but I'll work on it. So with that being said, this is the show PSVGOT, the most unprepared podcast on the internet. And we just want to say thank you and game over.
Shut up and sit down.
This has been a production of the Play Some Video Games Podcast Network. Find more great content at playsomevideogames.com.